Welcome to the Demography Talks podcast. In this episode, I will talk about the impact of war on the movement of Ukrainian people. We will discuss about the Ukrainian refugees, about the internally displaced Ukrainians, and the further implications of the war globally. Ukraine is a country in Eastern Europe. It is the second largest country in Europe after Russia. It has a population of about 40 million people. Starting on 24th of February 2022, a humanitarian crisis began due to the Russian invasion of Ukraine. This is one of the greatest refugee crises of the 21st century, with the highest refugee flight rate globally. The scale of the crisis can be explained partially by some factors. The railways in Ukraine kept running, contributing to an easier movement within and outside the country. Afghanistan, by contrast, has no passenger rail service. A lot of countries were more willing to welcome refugees from Ukraine than people fleeing from other wars as well. Ukrainians were and still are forced to leave their homes, seeking safety, protection, and assistance. 1/3 of Ukrainians have been forced from their homes. Some had been internally displaced. Some fled the country. According to the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, 6.4 million people fled Ukraine. This is data from 19th of May. The most significant flow of refugees was registered in the first 2 weeks after the invasion, peaking at 200,000 on 7th of March. Now it's stable. About 50,000 Ukrainians are leaving their country every day. The data is updated daily, but we should keep in mind that this is just an estimate. The official data shows that the countries that welcome the most refugees are Poland, with almost 3.5 million refugees, Romania, with nearly 1 million, Russia, nearly 1 million as well, followed by Hungary, Republic of Moldova, and Slovakia, with almost 500,000 refugees each. It's important to note that because there is free movement in the Schengen area, there are very few border controls within the European Union. Therefore, even though people cross the borders with Hungary, Poland, and Slovakia, we can't be sure that they stayed there. United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees is estimating that some 2.5 million refugees had moved beyond countries neighboring Ukraine. Using data from the various governments, we have a few estimates of where people went further. One of the main countries are Germany, the Czech Republic, Bulgaria, Italy, Turkey, Spain. Also, almost 2 million Ukrainians returned back to their country by 19th of May 2022. According to the International Organization of Migration, there are about 8 million internally displaced people as of 3rd of May 2022. As of 17th of May, the Office of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights recorded about 8,000 civilian casualties. Almost half were killed, including 251 children, and half were injured. The actual figures are likely considerably higher. People will continue to move because they need help and safety. The war and the movement of people impact Ukraine and Russia, the neighboring countries, and the entire world. Russia and Ukraine supply 28% of globally traded wheat, 29% of the barley, 15% of the maize, and 75% of the sunflower oil. Russia and Ukraine contribute about half the cereals imported by Lebanon and Tunisia. For Libya and Egypt, the figure is 2/3. Ukraine's food exports provide the calories to feed 400 million people. The war disrupts these supplies, and a food crisis might occur. Global leaders should take urgent measures to avoid a food catastrophe. You can find all the resources and references in the video's description. Please like and subscribe if you liked the video and want me to create more. Thank you very much for your attention.